pesky slugs like to race, eh? Well, nitrous oxide, I'm the fastest racer in the galaxy. I travel the stars looking for creatures to test my skills. It's a little game I call survival of the fastest. Here's the way we play. I challenge the best driver of your world to race for the planet. If your driver wins, I'll leave your miserable little rock alone. But if I win, I'll turn your entire globe into a concrete parking lot and make you my slaves. Get ready to race for the fate of your planet.
Hey everyone, Joshua here from Immigrant, and we're back to a new Crash Bandicoot, all Crash Bandicoot games review video. And today, we are back with a new episode. And this episode is my review on the original Crash Team Racing. Yes, the original PS1 version, the 1999 version. So we start, shall we? So, let's start with the story, shall we? So, the story starts off, the adventure mode starts off with nitrous oxide coming to Earth and challenging all the people on Earth to a race for the planet. And he states that if your driver wins, if any of the Earth's wins, he'll leave Earth alone and we'll leave it alone. But if he wins, he'll turn the entire globe into a concrete parking lot and make everyone his slaves. Yeah, his slaves. And then he says, get ready to race for the fate of your planet. So yeah, Earth is endangered, or is in danger by an alien. So we see Coco computering onto her keyboard to her car. Tiny's getting upset just for no reason and destroying his car. Well, Tiny. Polar is reading a how to drive book upside down. Alright. Dingodile is fixing up his car when, of course, it explodes. And then Cortex is, of course, making some modifications to his cart. And then we see Crash just sleeping on the ground. And then we get to Aku Aku, or Uka Uka, just depends what team you're on. And they tell you that about the hub world, and each hub world, of course, represents warp paths that lead to races. Each race you win, the more trophies you unlock. And the bosses. There are keys as well. So we start off in the first level, Crash Cove. Which is on a beach. It's a level on a beach. The level takes place on a beach. There's a really good environment to it as well, if I do say so myself. It looks really good. And I definitely love this track. Crash Cove is a real fun track. And what a great first level to Crash Team Racing. Oh yeah, and we have the Trophy Girls as well. The original Trophy Girls, which all of them have that kind of model. Not all, of course, the same color, but, you know. The second level in Insanity Beach is Ruse Tubes, which, luckily enough, has a real great environment to the level, and for some reason reminds me a lot of Aquaria Towers from Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage for some reason. But yeah, like with Crash Cove, this stands out as a very amazing level, and I definitely really love Crash Cove. I really love Crash Cove and Ruse Tubes. The third level in Hub World 1, in the first Hub World, Insanity Beach, is Mystery Caves, which has a real great environment, if I do say so myself. Well, we're talking about the PS1, in the 1990s, right? In the years of the year 1990s, so just compare it to the Mystery Caves today, and the PS4 to the one from back then, right? But still, Mystery Caves is a real amazing track with a lot of jumps, a lot of fireballs that you have to avoid, and all out a real great track in my opinion. And then we go to the final level of Hub World 1, Insanity. The first Hub World, Insanity Beach, Sewer Speedway. Yes, Sewer Speedway. The final level of the first Hub World. Like I said, Insanity Beach. And what an amazing level this is, you guys. I absolutely love Sewer Speedway. I really love racing on this track. It's such a fun track, especially with the shortcut that you can take in the different multiple routes. Yeah, it's a real great track. And then we come to the first boss, Ripper Row. Yes, and he tells us that we're crazy. We must be crazy to think that if we're gonna face Oxide. And he wants to test our mettle to the skills, so we have to race him. And he'll give us a key for a reward. So yes, the first boss, Ripper Row. Ripper Row, for the first boss, is a really, really good boss for the first boss in the game. Because his main items that he throws is TNT. And that's it. He throws TNT, that's it. And you race him on his track, Rose Tubes. Which, funnily enough, all the bosses that we mentioned do race on their home tracks. So just to let you know. But yeah, Ripperoo is a real great boss. Especially since he's the first boss. I think it really stands out as the first boss. So, after you defeat Ripperoo, he is of course upset, but you manage to once you defeat him, once again, he gives you a key to move on to the next hub world. Which when you get the key, it unlocks a giant gate. Which will lead you to Gemstone Valley. Which will lead, of course, you to Turbo Track. And which will, you need to acquire all the gems. And Sly Coliseum. So, we go to the second hub world. The Lost Ruins. So, the first track in the second hub world, the Lost Ruins, is Coco Park. Yes, Coco's Park, main kind of world, I guess we could say. I really love this track, right? It's really fun. A real good colored environment. But I definitely prefer it in the remake. I prefer all the tracks in the remake, but I am giving my thoughts on, of course, this review about how I think of the original tracks, but still, it looks really good. So we go to the second level of Hub World 2, The Lost Ruins, Tiger Temple, which, yes, it is an amazing track. I absolutely love this track. Especially the fire that you have to avoid, the shortcut, which, if you have a beaker, a bowling bomb, or, of course, sealed, you can, or an aku uka uka, you can actually go through it. But yeah, this track is absolutely pure goodness. Now we go to the third level of the Lost Ruins of the second hub world, Papu's Pyramid. Which, once again, I definitely have to say, it looks so much better in Nitro Fueled than the original. But you can actually see some stuff here, right? You can actually see some real cool stuff here. Like, of course, with the environment, I love this stuff here. And I could just say it is straight out an amazing track, in my opinion. And I absolutely love it. Then we go to the final level of the Lost Ruins of the second hub world, Dingo Canyon, which, funnily enough, it's Dingo Dial's track because, well, Dingo, then, because he's a dingo, and yeah, never mind. But yeah, I love this track. The armadillos that you have to look out for, the kind of flooded kind of road on some bits, and just the environment is just so fun, and I absolutely love it.
Much tired of watching puny slugs race so slow. Papu want in action to lay boom down big and prove Papu is world's best driver. Papu moves so fast, you much drags.
Well, that says everything. So yes, we go to the second boss. The boss of the second hub world, Papu Papu himself. And like he says, that he is tired of watching slow racers race so slow, and he wants to prove that he is indeed the best driver to actually race nitrous oxide, and he just wants to prove that he can race oxide. And Papu Papu, instead of launching TNT, Papu Papu's ability is throwing beakers. It just depends if he's juiced up, or it can be green beakers and red beakers that he throws. But yeah, he's a very good boss, and I absolutely love how it is on here.
Papu not himself today. Maybe Papu not eating a big breakfast. You are fast for be so small. Here is key to help. Oxide much bigger problem for you. Him not as big, but him much more grumpy.
Thank you, Papu Papu, for saying it for me. So, once you have 2 keys, you can now go, with the second key, you can now go to Glacier Park. So we go to the first level of Glacier Park of the third hub world, Blizzard Bluff, which, once again, it has an amazing layout, especially with the tricky fence shortcut and the other shortcut. If you have a lot of reserves, then you can actually make. It's a real amazing track. The second track of Glacier Park, Dragon Mines. Yes, Dragon Mines. We go to the second track, Dragon Mines, which has this fun spiral belt, which I absolutely love. Mine carts, which you gotta avoid. Komodo Joe's portrait everywhere. And yeah, it's a very amazing track that I absolutely love. Then we go to the third track, the third level of Glacier Park, Polar Pass. Yes, Polar Pass, which is absolutely fantastic. You have a lot of shortcuts that you can take, and you gotta look out for seals as well, which is basically the main kind of objective that you have to look out in this track. But still, it's a real fun track. Then we go to the final level of Glacier Park, Tiny Arena. Yes, Tiny Arena, which I absolutely love this track. It's such a cool idea of a track, and I absolutely love it. I mean, how can you not love this track? It's so good. The layout, the kind of tricky turns, I just love it. And now we come to the third boss, Komodo Joe. And of course, he is telling us that we have beaten all the racers on the tracks in his area. So now it is time for us to time for him to prove himself that he is worthy to face Oxide by crushing us. So he tells us that let's race and see if we are fast enough to face Oxide. So, Komodo Joe, of course, his boss race takes place in Dragon Mines, because that's his home track. And Komodo Joe throws TNT and Nitro. Yeah, he is the second boss that throws TNT and Nitro. And kind of a difficult boss, kind of not, but it's a real great boss, and absolutely love it so much. What a great layout of difficulty for it. So, Komodo Joe tells us that we're not so slow as he thought, and he's surprised, so he gives us a key for the win, but he tells us that he doesn't think we're fast enough to race Oxide. They earned the right to face Oxide, and we're going to lose our planet, and it will be our fault. So, once you have 3 keys, we can now go to the final hub world, Citadel City. So, the first level in Citadel City is Engine Labs, which I absolutely love Engine Labs. It's so cool. How can you not love Engine Labs? It's a great idea for a level. Especially, it feels like you're racing, I'm pretty sure, in Engine's factory. It just feels like, right? It always makes me think that you're racing in Engine's factory, which I absolutely love. So, we go to the second level of Citadel City, Cortex Castle, which, yet again, it's amazing. The spiders that fall from the ceiling, the turning, all the turns that you gotta do. It's absolutely fantastic with the shortcut and the church sequence that you go through. It's absolutely fantastic. And well played of Cortex having this amazing scenery. And the third level of Citadel City is my personal favorite CTR track, Hot Air Skyway. You're racing on Pinstripe's level, because you can tell it's Pinstripe's level just because of the kind of environment, and his face is splattered all over the blimps. So yeah, y'all can definitely tell. I absolutely love this track. It's so fun, especially racing in the sky. It's so fun. How can you not love it, right? How can you not love this track? And now we come to the final level in Citadel City. Oxide Station. Yes, you're racing inside of Oxide Space Station, and it's absolutely fantastic. I love everything about this level, to the layout, of how it looks, especially the space section as well, where you're just floating through in space. It's just so cool, isn't it? You can just float through space, and I love it. So, we come to the final boss before Oxide, Pinstripe, which he tells us that he doesn't see anything about the racing that we're doing, and he says that he is going to save the world and get a, of course, big fee, of course. So, it is time to get the final key before we can face Oxide. You face Pinstripe. Pinstripe's boss fight takes place in Hot Air Skyway, and he throws bowling bombs behind him. Thankfully, thank you that he doesn't. I'm so happy that it doesn't throw him forward and just backwards. I mean, just imagine if he throws him forward and backwards, and the forward ones just come directly at you. That would just make this 10 times harder. So, we have defeated Pinstripe. You have defeated Pinstripe, and he tells you that you have defeated him fair and square, and he says he doubt you'll be as lucky with Oxide. So, he gives you a key in return for beating him fair and square. And now we come down to this. We have gotten all the trophies and keys, and now Oxide says, now it's time to figure out who the best driver really is. And he tells us why did it take so long, but Oxide, you don't know why it would take so long, because maybe you haven't done our work. So, it comes down to this. Oxide, the final boss of the game, Nitrous Oxide, you race him on his track, Oxide Station, and he throws basically every weapon at you. Yes, he throws every weapon at you. Beakers to TNTs to, I'm pretty sure, missiles. I don't think missiles, but at least I don't think, seen him throw missiles. Bowling bombs. Yeah, he just basically throws every weapon in the game, basically. And it's really crazy. So, once you defeat Oxide, he goes back to his ship, and he's so embarrassed. But, he tells he says that we can keep our planet because we still haven't gathered the time relics. Yes, you gotta go back and get all the time relics. And he says after you collect all of those and race them again, we'll never claim that we are the fastest. So Oxide, of course, is gonna stay in Earth until we get all the relics and face him once again. So once you do all the time trials, get all the relics, platinum and gold relics, get all the gems, yes, the cup races, and get all the CTR tokens, you can now face Oxide. So it has come down to this. Once you have beaten and gotten all of the time relics. So, Oxide is impressed that you got all of his time relics, and now it is time to figure out who the fastest racer is, and truly is, and he says this one is for keeps. So now we go to face Oxide once and for all. Once you have went back and collect everything, all the tokens, all the relics, and all the gems, you can face Nitrous Oxide for the final time, and it kind of gets more harder on the second time. So once you defeat Oxide, once and for all, he is so embarrassed and that he can't believe you beat him once again. So he says that he's gonna go back to the planet Gasmoxia as a complete loser, and he must be getting slow in his old age. So he leaves Earth in one piece, thankfully, and he leaves Earth for good. And that is the last time we see Oxide until basically the next game, which we'll cover. And the next review, will be Crash Bash. So that is going to wrap it up for this review, you guys. So do hope you enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so videos don't tell. And I'm going to go down below to this review. My review of the original Crash Team Racing. So tomorrow will be my review on Crash Bash, you guys. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next video. Bye!